What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Stand Up Life. Today we got a very, very special guest in the building. I've known this guy for a while. He's one of my good friends. Talk about football stars. First name that comes to my head is him. And recently CFL Hall of Famer. That's huge. Give it up for the one and only Chad Owens, everybody.
Hey, aloha.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks for making it, man.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for having me. When you asked me to come on, I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Super excited.
I never told you this, but you were my inspiration to walk on to UH, and because you're a walk on there, right?
Yeah.
And talk about that walk on story. That's like one of the greatest stories to come out of UH.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can bounce that right back to you. Although, yeah, you walked on, football didn't become your future, but look at what you're doing now, right?
Yeah.
So I think the whole walk on, it's a mentality. It's like that underdog mentality. It's that, watch me. Like, I'll show you that I can do this, or I'll show you that I can be successful. And, that's, to me, it's rare, I mean, there's been a lot of guys to walk on, but it takes a very special, individual that's really driven to become successful. And so, yeah, bro, I mean, I'm glad that I was able to inspire you to push to go do that. And, it always takes, to me, it takes someone else. For me, but that wasn't my path. Like, I've shared this story before. I wasn't going to go to UH right out of high school.
Well, you wasn't?
No.
Because you started off at Roosevelt, yeah?
Yeah, so I was graduating from Roosevelt High School.
That's the side campus of Punahou.
Hey, there's a connection there. There's a connection.
Did you know there was a rivalry from Punahou and Roosevelt back in the day?
Back in the day.
Yeah. I don't know, was that during your time or
No.
before that?
I'm older than you, but not that old.
Because I remember we were talking about it at Punahou because we had like this building, I think it was Pawahi Hall, and there's like a light, like a glass light on the top of the building, and it was painted our colors blue and yellow, but Roosevelt would paint it red and yellow. And yellow, yeah. So I was like, I didn't know they had a rivalry.
Battle of the Towers.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, it's like public-private school.
But. Yeah.
So Roosevelt, and what year did you graduate, Roosevelt?
2000.
2000. Okay.
Shout out class of 2000. But no, what I was saying is, I was headed to like a junior college or Dixie College. Like, that was my path because I didn't know that you could walk on directly to UH. I didn't know that, right? And so it took my coach, one of my coaches, defensive back coach, Reggie Dela Cruz, who I believe walked on UH in his time, and he played. And so it was after serving lunch one day. Football players, we used to serve lunch in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
So we did that, and after he asked me, Chad, like, so what's your plans? What are you going to do? Mm-hmm. And I said, I don't know. I think I'm going to go to Dixie or, some other school in the mainland. And then maybe if it all goes well, I'll come back and try out for UH. Yeah. And he said, why don't you just walk on directly to University of Hawaii right now? And I was like, I can do that? Yeah. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, how do I do that? So it took someone else kind of, pushing me to do that. And thankfully enough, I had an all-state quarterback. My quarterback was Chad Kapanui. So June Jones and Ron Lee came to watch him throw one day. And I was the guy catching passes for him. So that was the initial kind of...
You caught their eye a little bit.
Yeah. Ron Lee was like, who's this guy diving all over the place? And, that was my opportunity. Yeah. So that's how I ended up walking on to University of Hawaii.
Straight out of high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's almost same like me too. I took that route too because I had looks at smaller schools, smaller D3 schools, D2 schools. And but I wanted to stay home. That was the main thing because my dad played for UH, and I wanted to play in front of my family and friends. And seeing guys like you, Bryant Moniz, all these big time walk-ons that just succeeded huge right off the bat, I wanted to follow in your guys' footsteps. So thank you for paving that way.
Hey, bro, you're welcome, man. And thanks for going, because some guys. There's a lot of guys that get inspiration, but they don't take the step to go and do it, right?
But there is a lot of guys, like you said, from Hawaii, they go junior college for 2 years, and they come back to only walk on again. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. They just got older, and they're wasting their time. Now they only get 2 years to play.
Yeah, you got to learn a system. It's a whole new transition. So that was kind of what Coach Reggie was kind of telling me is like, just go right now, learn, get better. You're already in the system, and you can, work your way.
So you have to go to the walk-on tryouts at UH?
No.
So you're the preferred walk-on?
Not even that.
Oh, really?
Bro, I was the last guy added to the training camp roster that year when I first came in. Because, most walk-ons, they come first day of school.
Yeah.
But if you're a preferred walk-on, you're there from the beginning. Training camp.
Yeah.
I wasn't even that. Luckily, just from my hard work in the summertime, training, in the gym, and, I showcased that I had work ethic.
Yeah.
So that was the difference is in how I got that opportunity.
Wow. And you redshirted that first year? No, you played.
No, redshirted that year. And then it was the next year, which was, that BYU year.
Yeah,
the year I came out.
That's that play you had, a couple touchdowns from kick return?
Yeah. That was wild, bro.
That was your redshirt freshman year?
Redshirt freshman year. Number 82, I was still rocking.
You started on kick return?
Yeah, well, not from the beginning of the season. Oh. It was like week 4, maybe 3, 4.
You guys won that game too, yeah?
Which one? BYU? Oh, that was the last game of the season. We won that one, 72-45.
Oh, wow, yeah. I remember seeing the highlights. They still get highlights on YouTube if you guys want to search it up. Just search up Chad Owens, BYU.
Yeah.
How many touchdowns you had that game?
I had 2, but I set a record for return yards. I think it was like 300-something return yards, like punt and kick. Damn. Kickoff return for a touchdown, punt return for a touchdown. Almost took the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. Yeah. Almost scored on another punt return for a touchdown. It was just like a dream come true game. I don't know if you remember the movie The Program.
The Program.
It's a football movie. Well, when on my come up, that was just like a crazy movie about college football.
Yeah.
The hype, the crowd, the big moments. Just, that was my
breakout game, you think?
Probably on a national level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when did you get a scholarship?
That next spring.
Your sophomore year?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Not how to do them now. You know how to do them now. They make the walk-ons all like surprises or, it's kind of cool how they do it now when the walk-ons receive scholarships.
No surprise or anything?
Nah, it was just call me to the office. You're going to be put on scholarship.
That was kind of like mine too, just in the office.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I skipped a class that day. And then I got a text from Rolovich. Oh, can you come to my office?
Are you thinking because
I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, but I was like, there's no way. Like, this guy doesn't check classes anymore. And then that's when he's like, oh, we'll give you a scholarship. But he said the same thing. I'm not going to give you any surprise big thing. Just thought I'd give it to you. But that was my junior year. But yeah, it always feels good having a scholarship.
Yeah, it shows that the hard work you put in, it was
prove
worth
everybody
it,
wrong.
And you proved everyone wrong, proved yourself right.
Yeah.
And because at the end of the day, you got to have that self-belief, right?
Yeah.
When everyone else said you're not good enough to get the scholarship out of high school, you believed that you was good enough, or with your peers, right? You saw other guys getting scholarships, like, well, I was kind of right there with that guy, so it just, at the end of the day, you cannot. What's the quote? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yeah.
And I lived by that.
Yeah. It's not good to compare yourself to others. Like, oh, how come he's getting all the playing time? I've been in the gym constantly, and I'm way better than this guy, but the coach got to use him because that's his scholarship player. I mean, I felt like that too during my college years. But yeah, you just gotta be the best version of yourself.
Always, and it's like that at every level, though.
Yeah.
Even if you think back, like Little League, like there's, if you want to call it favoritism, or like the coach's son, or it happens at all levels. At the pro level, who got the bag, right?
Yeah.
Who are they paying?
Yeah.
So I ran into that myself. This guy was a first-round draft pick. I was a sixth-round draft pick. Mm-hmm. They had to play him. He had to prove that he couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. I had to prove that I could.
Yeah.
So there's a difference when you give someone all that investment, right? That money. A scholarship is an investment.
Yeah.
So, these are all things that you learn as you mature, right? When I was in it, you're not thinking like that.
Yeah.
You're just thinking of, man, like, and I think we talked about this like the other day. Or did it change when you got there? Like the scholarship and walk-on guys didn't eat together. Yeah.
So the first year I got there as a walk-on, that's the year they made the rule where walk-ons and scholarships can eat together. But crazy, yeah. You think of it back then, like you have to separate. That's like almost like racism.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy.
Like, oh, you gotta
it's creating
drink at
division.
You gotta drink at that water fountain over there. You cannot drink this nice cold
Oh, you guys cannot
water.
drink the Gatorade.
Yeah.
Walk on, it's only water.
Yeah. So you guys couldn't eat at the training table?
No, after practice, I used to watch everybody walk into that, right outside the locker room, into that, to the stand sheriff.
Yeah.
That's where the training table was. Walking, watching all those guys, like, look at what they was eating. I had to go upstairs to the Sodexo.
Oh, yeah,
whatever. I was upstairs.
Yeah.
I had to buy my food.
Oh.
Like, it was just...
Would some of the players, the scholarship players, make plates for the walk-ons secretly?
I can't remember, but I think maybe a couple of times.
Yeah.
But it was
I
hard.
heard they used to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, it was hard, bro, to see that. But it provided that motivation. You know what I mean? It provided that, all right, I want to get a scholarship so I can go, eat in there with the team, or it's how you take adversity. How do you
But when you travel, if the walk-ons traveled on the traveling team, they would get food fed up there, though, right?
Oh yeah, if you were a walk-on that traveled,
Yeah.
you're with the team. In the hotel, you get the
You
pregame
get all
meal.
that. Yeah.
Could you imagine? Walk on, you're on the travel spot, but
You cannot
sorry,
ride
buddy.
the bus with us.
You gotta go eat McDonald's or something. You gotta go get your. Well, that'd be dirty. That'd be like on, I don't know.
No, but you gotta imagine he travels with them as a walk-on, eats all that food, and then comes back from practice. Can I eat the training table?
So, bro, I just helped you guys win that game,
Yeah.
and I can't eat that training table food.
It's
Oh
crazy
my
to have
God,
it like
yeah.
that.
But I'm glad they changed it though.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense. Everyone, it's a team. Walk on, scholarship. Everyone's trying to be better for each other. And
Yeah. But do you think it's harder now in today's time for a walk-on to make it because of the new the NIL stuff?
I think so. That's why they have
yeah.
walk-on tryouts. Like,
Yeah.
I never had to do a tryout.
Because now money is involved now, like bigger investments, because college players can get paid now. So that's kind of unfair to even high school kids in general coming out, because I feel like the big schools would pay money to get a transfer instead of picking up a young
bringing
kid.
a walk-on or someone that's
because
in
everybody's
state,
transferring
whatever.
now, and they're all getting paid, some guys millions of dollars, the big schools, and I feel bad for some high school kids trying to just make it.
Yeah, it's definitely
they waste
a lot
all the
harder.
money on the transfers.
But the route now, how we talked about walk-on straight versus going away.
Yeah.
Now, if you're that guy in that position and you don't get that scholarship, it's probably better to go to a small school, go to a junior college, because the whole landscape of college football has changed because of the NIL. So now coaches are doing, they don't want to deal with all of this, some of this highest bidder money. They're like, okay, well, we're just going to pick up this guy from JC.
Yeah.
He was a junior college player of the year. Or what,
Yeah.
So that's a way you go, shine, and school's going to pick you up. That's kind of what they're doing now. Because, guys are playing, having a good year, or it didn't work out for them, or they're not getting the NIL deals they thought they was going to get. They're going to go jump ship.
Yeah.
To me, it's creating bad habits. How are you going to learn to persevere? How are you going to learn to just keep fighting, through your adversities or through some hard times?
Yeah.
It's creating, to me, some weaknesses.
Yeah, I can see that.
But, hey, guys is getting paid.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the professional getting drafted, making it isn't guaranteed. Injuries, so you cannot fault athletes for going after that money.
It's almost like you don't even have to go pro anymore. It's like making it to college is enough because you get paid that much money.
It's
like Dylan Gabriel, he bought a house with his money he got.
Yeah, from Oregon. I think $2 million.
Something like that. I don't know the exact number. But
There's a scale. I think the Pac-12, they have this set rates basically.
Yeah.
If you're a starter, you're getting $100,000 guarantee. If you're the starting quarterback, you're getting X amount of million guarantee. There's a set rate, and I think they're the only ones that's doing it. But to me, it should be like that all over. If it's set, then guys aren't gonna be trying to go for the highest bidder.
Yeah.
You know what you're making. So the goal becomes, I want to be a starter.
But even like before, the guys was getting paid too, like Reggie
under the
Bush.
table.
Yeah, all those. But now it's like, okay, now it's out in the open.
Yeah.
You know, but I think he got his trophy back, right?
Yeah, got his Heisman Trophy back,
Yeah.
which to me it makes sense. You know,
does.
I don't know why it took so long, but
Did you get any special treatments at UH? I heard you was like the man on campus.
I mean, after I got my scholarship, you know, maybe I got like, you know, a little extra stim and ice on my leg.
Never have to go class, so you still had to.
Nah, I had to go class.
You had to go class.
There was no special treatments.
I heard like
unfortunately.
for Colt Brennan, they would have to shuttle him to practice because people at school was trying to come up with him and get his autograph.
Bro, that was, you got to think about those times, right?
Yeah.
Like, that guy was just a god on campus, you know, in the state.
Yeah.
You know, talk about
I
celebrity.
feel like you too though. Yeah. Right? Would you get it like peers in campus come up to you?
Not really on campus,
Yeah,
but more like
out
at the
in public.
malls and in public, but it wasn't like crowds just running up to me. You know what I mean? It was just I'd get noticed and can I get an autograph? Can I get a picture? Cool. But someone like Colt, at the height of what that was and what he did, and the hype that was behind that team, you know, going to the Sugar Bowl, all of that.
Were you there one year with Colt or no?
No, they came like literally
Right after,
maybe 2 years after, because that was whole Devon Bass and Bryce Mullins, all those guys. That was an exciting.
So you was with
time.
Timmy Chang was your quarterback.
Yep.
Chris Brown, linebacker.
Yep, Chris Brown. We had Pisa Tinoy Samoa.
Oh yeah.
Wayne Hunter.
Yeah.
Bro, we had some ballers. We had a lot of NFL guys.
Yeah, that's right.
Ashley Lilly.
Yeah.
First round pick.
Let's talk about your NFL time. So, right after college, you get drafted.
Yep, Jacksonville, 6th round.
6th round. That's right.
Yeah.
I remember that one catch you made.
Yeah.
That was
preseason. Me. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's, you know, it was a dream come true for me because, you know, when I was told, you know, I'm not going to make it, or you shouldn't be playing this sport, you know, or try a different position, and to actually get drafted, I didn't care if it was 6th round, but my name got called, you know, and a team wanted me.
What was the money they guaranteed you, if you don't mind saying?
Bro, all I got, I think it was like 75,000.
Like signing bonus.
Signing bonus, yeah, which is like, oh, that's a lot of money. But today, I look 75,000. That's kind of, you know,
that's still good.
That's good money, but
and they would pay you weekly.
Yeah,
in the NFL?
You'd get weekly checks.
Yeah.
But bro, like it was crazy because my weekly check was like, as a minimum, right? As a rookie minimum back then, I think it was like 400,000, but you would get paid. I want to say it was like after taxes, you're bringing home like 15,000, something like that every week.
Yeah,
something like that. But then, bro, some of these guys, bro, they're like $1 million a week, bro.
$1 million a week. Like the quarterbacks and stuff.
Yeah, bro. It's just like, wait, what's that guy getting paid? Like, I'm just scratching my head. I'm like, wow, that must be nice.
Yeah. Can't even imagine.
No, bro, but
it's even more now.
It's even
too.
more now.
Yeah.
The minimum's gone up.
Yeah. Even just to be on the practice team, right?
Oh yeah, you living pretty good if you're on the PR.
Yeah. So how long were you up in Jacksonville for?
I have a total of, I think, 2 or 3 credited seasons.
3 seasons.
3 credited seasons. I was in Jacksonville 05, 06, 06, 07. I went to Tampa for that training camp for that next year. Got released, ended up back in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And then got released after that year. Went to Arena League for 1 year and then ended up in Canada. Mm-hmm. But, you know, talking about my NFL time, you know, I just...
Yeah, it must have been like going through all those challenges of getting released and like talk us through that.
It was more mental. The mental battle got me.
Because it's all a numbers game up there. It's all business moves.
It's numbers, and it's about what have you done for me lately? What can you do right now?
Yeah.
Right? And I didn't provide in the game. Bro, but at practice, I was killing these guys. Like as a receiver, nobody could guard me. The returns, like, bro, easy. All of what we've seen me doing in college, I was doing that on a daily, in training camp and in practice. Like, I was literally dominating. But what had happened was my rookie year, when week 1 came out, I wasn't listed on the depth chart because I thought I was going to be the starting returner. And I wasn't. I wasn't even going to dress. I was down. And the special teams coach came up to me after the meeting. He's like, Chad, I know you're probably a little disappointed right now, but, we can't trust you out there. But you're telling a rookie, that you can't trust him. From right there, I was like, I was shook.
Yeah.
I got shook. You know what I mean? Because I've never had that happen to me ever. Catching a punt or a kick.
And he was doing good in practice and all the scrimmages and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But once he kind of told me that, because I did make some, I had some hesitation during preseason with some of the punt returners, like, do I fair catch this one or not? There was some hesitation in my decision making. And that, I think, was a result of my college, bro. I fair caught one football my entire college career, and that was that Fresno very first game I came in. And maybe I created a bad habit of not making that decision. You're on the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
You gotta let it go over your head, or you come up fair catch. I didn't have enough reps at making those decisions.
Yeah.
And it showed. So, the mental game kind of got me there. I started to overthink, and then, that's what happened. That's why my NFL career didn't pan out to what it could have been. But, you live, you learn. And I took all those experiences with me to Canada, where I just excelled.
He's up in Edmonton?
Toronto,
yeah.
Yeah, with the Argonauts.
Did you play in Edmonton one year or no?
No, so Toronto, Hamilton. So I came into the league in Montreal, but I ended up making my hay in Toronto. Hamilton, and then Saskatchewan. But that was at the end, or that was done. So Toronto, I don't want to say that I claimed Toronto, but that's where my CFL career, the bulk of my
That's where you won the MVP and everything, right? Yeah. It's crazy. Because my dad played CFL too, and I think CFL is great. I think it's right below NFL.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been around longer than the NFL.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy to think like the CFL was happening long before the NFL started.
Yeah. It's getting. I think you got it more popular too, just especially more known in Hawaii. There's a lot of Hawaii guys that go CFL. I think.
But Taulia,
Taulia just got signed
with Hamilton.
Yeah.
So I think the connection there is the head coach of Hamilton right now, Scott Milanovic, was Maryland's quarterback.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go NFL, but he just.
He did. He had I think mini camp.
Oh, he did.
With
I thought he just
Seahawks.
graduated. I thought he went straight.
No,
CFL.
he didn't get signed right out of the draft, but he had a mini camp. Him and Chevron Cordero were in Seattle together.
How's Chevron doing?
I think he got released.
Yeah.
I mean, he's another guy that should maybe try it. Canada.
Yeah.
You got the UFL now.
Yeah.
There's other opportunities.
XFL is UFL now?
Yeah.
With The Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came down here at XFL for some tryouts last year.
I remember it. Yeah. Iron tryout.
You never you went.
I went. Yeah. Tryout for nose guard. Well, so how many years you played up in Canada?
So I got up there in 2009 all the way to 18. So was that 9 years?
9 years. Wow, 9 years. And we was talking about it earlier in the gym. You just at one point, like towards the end, you was using a lot of pain.
Bruh.
Taking Tylenol every day.
Advil daily. Just to get through practice.
Yeah.
And that's not something I'm proud of, but
the people don't know, like the wear and tear like an athlete gets, especially with trying to make longevity in the equation. 9 years is a lot of years.
Oh, bro.
And
the years of college, high school, it adds up, right? So what they call it is when you're getting paid and you know that your performance dictates how much you get paid. It's pressure to perform. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like what happens. And, bro, at the end of the day, when you're in the moment, you're willing to do whatever it takes to stay on that football field.
Yeah.
But when I was in Toronto, I was that veteran, and, coaches like, so Scott Milanovic, who's in Hamilton now, he was my head coach in Toronto. He's like, CEO, how you feeling? I'm a little banged up. I'll shut it down today. Just take today off. Mm. So they would take care of me, you know,
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
they need me fresh for game day.
Yeah.
So I would do that. But when it's, you know, when I wasn't too banged up, I needed to practice, like, I didn't want to feel no pain out there. I wanted to go out there and compete, right? So Advil, Tylenol, pop. Let's go.
What was the most crazy injury you had?
Man, well, in 2008, I tore my ACL. That's in the Arena League.
Yeah. That's common. Torn ACLs.
That's common.
Yeah.
But in 2008, it was kind of like, I think medicine and the surgeries was just getting to be a little bit better. Before, that's like whole career ending.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it's hard to come back from that.
Yeah.
So that was my first biggest setback and injury. So I came back from that, and I ended up coming back better. And then I had a Jones fracture in my foot. It's like the fifth metatarsal, like your pinky toe.
Yeah.
But on your foot, like I broke that.
I had the Liz Frank ligament.
Oh, you had that?
Yeah.
I heard
Two
that's
of
like
them.
the worst.
Yeah, and they wanted me to have like surgery and everything. Well, two doctors. One doctor said surgery. One doctor said no need. Just do like therapy and let it heal up that way.
And what'd you do?
I didn't do the surgery. Yeah, but I still feel pain sometimes when I like backpedal or.
Well, you still
like, when I
backpedaling?
Still backpedaling. when Rachel get mad at me, I just
But you're just not coming out the brake.
yeah. Still backpedaling.
Just backpedaling, you just kind of slow down.
I remember when it happened too. I was on kickoff and someone stepped on my foot.
It was from a.
Yeah.
Oh, normally it happens when there's a compression.
Yeah. Or either I stepped on someone's foot. I don't know, but it was like a collision, and it just was really sore. And then it did surgery. I mean, did a
MRI.
X-ray, yeah, MRI, everything, and they found two. There's 3 ligaments. I think 2 of them were torn.
And was there a fracture as well?
No, just 2 torn.
Oh, okay,
Liz
because
Frank
sometimes you get the
ligaments.
Liz Frank,
Yeah.
you get the torn ligaments, and there's like a little fracture in the
Yeah,
midfoot
I was like,
too.
Liz Frank, what is it? Anne Frank? What? Yeah, you're making
hot
this up.
dogs,
Yeah, hot dogs. But that was my worst injury I've had.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a big one too, because
No,
I hardly
that's-
played.
that's
And-
big.
Yeah, I hardly played, but I played a lot in practice though. That's
What, practice team All-American, guaranteed.
yeah, All American. That was my game time. I would swag out everything in practice. I'll tell my parents come watch my practice because that's no need come to the game, just come to the practice.
You get action at practice. All the reps. Oh man, no, but injuries, bro. It's just it's part of the game,
Yeah.
you know. But I think as football players, going through injuries and that competitive drive to come back because you want to play, you love the game, right?
Yeah.
I think that's building resilience. It's building the ability to come back from things and to, you know, put in work, you know, because in life, we're going to continue to face adversity. We're going to continue to face things that's going to
Yeah.
set us back. But we've got all those practice reps through our football careers that now we can, you know, transfer that in life, you know, after the game. And it's, to me, it's one of the best teaching available. That's why I
Nice.
encourage a lot of parents and people, hey, got to play football, man. You're going to learn more.
Yeah, it's just
You
a
gonna learn
game
more
of-
than
it's a
in
reflection
school.
of yeah. It's like a game of life, you know. What? How did the name Mighty Mouse come?
Man, this was in high school.
Yeah.
So it's funny. This is a funny story. Obviously, I was smaller, right? Smaller guy.
Yeah.
But I was real scrappy in high school. I was really athletic. I could, you know, I was strong. And one of my friends, Michael Padua, he just started calling me Mighty Mouse. And I used to get offended by that, bro. I used to be kind of like, bro, shut up. Like, don't call me that. Don't call me that. Like, and I just, it used to, you know, I guess upset me. But
Yeah.
he just kept going. And then I said, oh, shit, maybe I am kind of, you know, Mighty Mouse. Because I was thinking, yeah, I know
I
I'm
like that
mighty,
name.
but frick, I know I'm Mouse. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I felt. But, you know, what they call that small man syndrome. Like, wow,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I just didn't want that sort of tag. But I guess it grew on me.
You drove a big truck too, or no? Big lifted
Big
truck.
truck
You did.
come out. It's under the door.
5 feet drop. Boom, whoa.
But no, I ended up getting a tattoo, That was my very first tattoo.
Oh, Mighty Mouse?
A Mighty Mouse
Yeah.
tattoo, yeah. So,
Because that was a cartoon, yeah, Mighty Mouse.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like a superhero mouse.
Yeah.
And I guess it kind of made sense. It matched.
Yeah. But like the announcer started calling you that, and just everyone started calling you Mighty Mouse.
Yeah,
So it transferred to college.
yeah, to college. And then,
Your friend Michael was in college too, and he said, that's-
no.
Oh.
Wait, where did...
Or you told people, my name's Chad, you can call me Mighty Mouse.
I guess because I had tattoos.
Yeah, and they seen
And
that.
it kind of came up that I had a Mighty Mouse tattoo, and that's how it started to come out, in college. After you start making plays, they want to know more about you, right? Like, what's your story? What's your story? So that's how Mighty Mouse came up. But I guess it fit, But once I got to the pro level, that kind of changed. I wasn't known as Mighty Mouse anymore. It was Chad Owens, and then in Toronto, because I was from Hawaii, they started calling me the Flying Hawaiian. I was
Flying
like,
Hawaiian.
no, but that's Shane Victorino's name.
Yeah, everyone uses that name, Flying Hawaiian.
Everyone, if you're from Hawaii and you play sports and you do anything, Flying
Flying
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian.
So,
You are Hawaiian, yeah?
Yeah.
What is your ethnicities?
Hawaiian, Portuguese, English, Irish, German.
English is a ethnicity? I thought that's a language.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I said on my birth certificate, so I guess it's got to be
Hawaiian, Portuguese, English,
Irish, German.
Irish, German.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's everything then.
Typical Hawaii,
yeah.
poi dog, just mixed plate.
Yeah.
Boom.
And your son, Chad Owens Jr., he's at UH as well.
Yep. He's playing receiver. Started out as a quarterback his whole career, and he
right.
transitioned to receiver a couple years ago.
How is the pressure for him, like trying to live up to you in your? I'm sure he gets it, but
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I mean, even though I've told him many a times,
he
we've had
has your name too.
conversations. Yeah, I said, brother, you have no pressure to, be me, because you're not. Like you're your own, right? And regardless if he says he doesn't feel pressure, I'm pretty sure there's some pressure there. You know what I mean? And I think there's like an expectation,
Yeah.
even from the coaches. They're waiting for me to emerge out of him.
Yeah.
And that's that's
Being
it's not fair, but
Timmy
it
Chang
just,
is a head coach too.
Yeah.
like-
Bro, where's my receiver at? So, but it's like, you can look at it both ways. You can either like use it as motivation again,
Yeah.
pressure, expectation. Hey, it is what it is, right? You're either going to rise up to it or rise above it,
Yeah.
or you're going to just, dwindle and let that pressure push you down and push you out, So, but he's his own man, try to encourage him every single day. And, I want him to,
Does he
number
have
one,
Does he
enjoy.
have your number too, or?
No, he did at one point.
Yeah.
He had number 2. And then, some things happened and, he lost it, but he's number 82 now.
Oh, for
So
real?
that's like my first number.
Yeah.
So he was number 8 before his quarterback number was number 8.
Yeah.
And so he was like, yeah, Dad, I was number 8 and you're number 2. So it's kind of, plus here's your first number. So he's putting all these things together. I was like, oh, that works, bro. So, but no, he's going to find his way. I want him to carve out his own path. And I think every son or daughter of a former pro athlete, it's just what it is. There's an expectation. And granted, it's a little bit more when you're a junior, right? You get the exact name,
Yeah.
but he'll find his way. I think
Must be
he'll
a cool moment for you though. That's like a full circle moment. Like you started off at UH, NFL, CFL, made your marks there, and then come back to Hawaii, and just to see your son in the same position that you're at.
Yeah, no, it's special.
At
It's
UH
real
as well.
special, man. The special time for me was, I think it was 2 springs ago. He was still playing quarterback. When he first entered, he was a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So
I remember
they
that.
had this. Were you there?
No,
At that
I wasn't.
spring
I
practice?
wasn't.
So they had like this whole event for spring ball.
Yeah. Oh, I might have been there.
I was catching some punts as a celebrity thing. And then I told them, hey, I want to catch a pass from my son. Mm-hmm. So he lined up, I lined up, hike, and he threw me a ball. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, really cool. Brought some tears to my eyes.
At the turf field.
It was at Cookfield. No,
Yeah.
not, what was it called? TC Ching.
TC Ching, yeah.
Flashback. Was Cookfield. So it was special, bro. And
Oh, wow.
to just see him kind of having an opportunity to play college football, you know, it's again, it's a dream, you know, to be at that level. It's not easy, you know. Everyone wants to be at that level, but you know, we talked about it's hard.
Yeah.
So he has an opportunity to, you know, literally be in the same path, right?
Yeah.
Walk on.
What is he, a junior right now?
Bro, he's still a freshman.
Freshman.
He had a medical red shirt,
Yeah.
broke his foot. So same injury that I had, Jones fracture, and then he had a regular red shirt. So he still get 4 more years. I think he still get the COVID year too. I don't know.
Yeah, COVID year. Yeah, that's right.
So I
They
don't
have
know,
a COVID
bro.
year now.
But he has 4 more years, bro.
Oh yeah, he got plenty.
He can be
of time.
30 when he graduates.
Yeah. Always had the older guy on the team.
Yeah. Bruh. It's like, bro, you get 1 more year. I thought you graduated 3 years ago, bro.
You know Samson Ongwai?
He was one of those.
Yeah, he's one of those. Because remember I was in high school. I was watching him. He was a senior.
And you ended up graduating before him.
Yeah, for real. I came in. He was a GA, and then he's like, "Oh, I get 3 more years actually," or something like that.
Because of his injuries.
He has injuries. Yeah. But he's one of those guys that I remember that would just never leave. Leonard Peters too. Yeah, I was there for a while.
I think he came in my second
Or
year.
6 years or something.
I think it might have been 6.
6 years. It's a lot of years.
Yeah, but bro, he was good, bro.
Yeah.
He was one of those guys. Leonard was one of those guys. Fast,
Yeah.
fearless.
For real. I
You
got to
know.
get him on the podcast.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be funny.
So were you guys always planning to coming back to Hawaii from Canada?
No, bro.
It just happened.
COVID.
COVID was the reason.
COVID brought us back. So we
you
had
guys had
already
all
made the
life-
decision.
Yeah.
That we're not going back. Like I've made it. You know what I've done out there. My name, like I thought that there
Your
was
kids have
legit
friends up there,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, basically, they grew up there.
Yeah.
And so we weren't planning on coming back. We talked about it. Rena was always kind of like, she would have came back in a heartbeat if I said, "Hey, let's go back."
Yeah.
But we were kind of set. We were just in our routine, and then COVID happened, and it was just like one of those things. Timing.
Were you still playing in COVID?
Nah, I was
up.
done already. But Junior was going into his senior year. He had 1 more year. And then all this lockdown stuff, and I was like, you know what? If we're gonna be locked down, I'd rather be locked down in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Because the winters up there, it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
And so it was that, and wanting to bring Chad Jr. back here for his senior year for an opportunity to show out, because he's just been playing Canadian ball, high school, right? You don't get a lot of looks.
Yeah.
So if he was to be able to come here and show out, and
Did you play at Moanalua?
No, COVID, bro. The COVID, because Hawaii was still okay at that time.
Yeah.
Literally, as soon as we landed, I promise you, the next day, numbers just started to skyrocket. And then within a few days, it was shut down.
Yeah, that was a bad time.
And then football.
I remember that the
didn't
games
happen.
was no graduation, nothing. Also, he graduated 2020, 2021.
Yep.
2021.
2021. Man, yeah, that spring.
Yeah.
But
So
he
he
didn't
never
have
had
that. He didn't have
graduation.
that fall. He didn't have that football season his senior
Yeah.
year. I think they should have let some of those guys go back and have another year.
Yeah.
Give them a
Sure.
chance.
Because they do that for college, right? You get another year back. But high school.
I think if they did that, maybe it would have reset, because it was kind of a weird
Yeah.
sort of couple years there of transition.
Right.
So, but hey, that's what happened. All you can do is move forward. But
Yeah.
COVID is what kind of brought us home, and thinking back on it now, I'm thankful.
Yeah.
Because honestly, without that, we probably would still be there.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows what I'd be doing, but I'm loving what I'm doing now.
Yeah. Always good to come back home.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you always have a spot here. People love you here. And then all you guys.
Yeah, Hawaii is special. I mean, it's expensive,
Yeah.
but it's families here, everyone's here, and I just think when you think about just life in general, being happy and, money is one thing, but it doesn't guarantee happiness. You know what I mean? So I think, seeing my wife, my kids happy, and that's worth more than any money.
It is, and you're in paradise too.
Oh yeah, and I got some color on my skin. But I was light up there. I was light, boy.
And so, like, what is the next step for Chad Owens? Because I know you obviously in bodybuilding now. Even did a little bit of acting, or trying to get in there. You got an agency you was talking to me about. It's cool to see you changing professions. So.
Yeah, it's like I believe, again, it just comes down to self-belief, right?
Yeah.
Like, I believe that I've got, talent in other areas, and I can, what do you call it? Like, well, kind of like a football player, like all-purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was an all-purpose yards, doing it all. Not that I want to do it all, but I'm just exploring.
Yeah, you did. You even had you was an MMA fighter, yeah?
while playing football.
Yeah.
That was nuts. That's a whole nother.
That. What else did you do?
Well, I mean, I did the acting. I did a podcast for a little while, but that's not going anymore. I was a host for the Star Advertiser. It was called the CO2 Rundown.
Yeah.
That was cool. Gave me on camera practice. Although it wasn't live. It was pre-recorded, but I'm talking every day, like just so I got that experience. I've got a few different business things that I've kind of didn't work out, but again, it's all about getting experience. That's why with acting, at the stunts, it's all just gaining experiences. It doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to make it in that field, but just having the experience for me was big. And with the bodybuilding, it's just something to keep me competitive, and I love working out.
Yeah.
So when I played football, going to the gym, there was a purpose behind that, right? Because I wanted to be the best football player. So now that still gives me purpose in the gym.
So have that athlete mentality.
Yeah, just that drive to go crush it in the gym, because I'm trying to become a IFBB pro. I want to get my pro card. I want to carve out this physique. So there's certain things you got to do. You got to eat a certain way.
What do you think is more challenging, bodybuilding or football? Tough question,
man. I think
because you work hard right now.
I think bodybuilding
with the dieting
is a lot more. Yeah, from the diet, you got to be really. I mean, now I'm helping you out a little bit. It's just like it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, it is. It's a mind thing, and I feel like the dieting is like 90% of the battle, and then 10% is working out.
Yeah, working out. That's like, as a football player, you've done that.
Yeah.
Right? For people that working out wasn't a part of their life, or sports wasn't a part of their life, and then they're trying to do this fitness thing now, it's really hard because you haven't set a foundation on like pain.
Yeah.
Like going through, because that's what it takes. You got to go through the pain in order to get the results.
Yeah. And
if you were never an athlete, you've never really experienced that kind of like pain or setback or loss or, And so that's why I think athletes, if they want to, can transition well into the sport of bodybuilding, because you know how to be disciplined, right? Yeah. You know how to be determined. You know how to be, you know how to work out.
Yeah.
There's just some things you have to learn in the gym. There's a different type of working out, different type of lifting, but I love it. So
how many competitions did you do so far?
2021, 2, 3. I've done 3.
3 of them.
So 2021 was my first one, the Sean Ray. 2022 did the Sean Ray again here in Hawaii. That's the one I won. And then last year went up to Anaheim, California. It's a Masters show for, Masters is like the older uncles and aunties. I came first in my class, but I didn't win the overall. So the overall was going to get the pro card.
Yeah.
But this one I'm doing this year, it's in Pittsburgh, and I believe it's first in class gets a pro card.
Just so that people know, like the pro card, what does it basically do? It makes you a pro bodybuilder?
Yeah, I'll become a IFBB pro bodybuilder. And what a lot of pro bodybuilders do with that is they, it's like a
You get
it's like a
sponsors
credential. You can get sponsors. You know, people pay you to rep their stuff. You know, coaching, online coaching. You know, you just get more reputable that way.
Yeah.
But for
Do
me,
you ever?
it's
Can you ever lose the card?
I don't think so. I know. There's yearly dues you gotta pay.
Yeah.
Even for at the NPC level, which that's what I am now. I'm an amateur. You have to pay every year for your NPC card. So I believe IFBB Pro. There's an IFBB Pro. Yeah, but most times their sponsors probably take care of that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I love it, man. I mean, I don't know what the future holds for me. I just know that I'm a grinder. You know what I mean? A hustler.
Yeah.
I'm about winning today.
Yeah.
You know, and
just training with you and seeing your Instagram posts and everything, I could tell you that you love bodybuilding, you love what you do. So that's one thing you gotta have is the passion for it. And you got another competition coming up?
Yeah, end of August. So that's what? Today. 11 weeks out today.
11 weeks out. And if you win that, you get your pro card.
Yep.
Nice. What is that, men's physique?
I'm doing men's physique. Yeah, I mean, there's a
So
possibility.
that's the one in the underwear too, or no?
So men's physique is the board shorts.
Board shorts.
Classic is like that Speedo type, and then the open bodybuilding is more like the G-string one, the shiny one.
Oh, what about men's wellness?
That one is board shorts with bikini top.
Yeah, I tried for men's wellness.
I thought Kiko Silva was the best at everything.
Silva, yeah. So 11 weeks out.
Yeah. Things are
kicking in.
Things are starting to change. Carbs, carbs get manipulated. So when you're in your off season, you're eating.
Yeah.
A lot. It's just it's hard, but it's eating a lot is hard, and when you come to cutting, not eating as much, is hard.
Yeah.
But the thing that changes is the carbs. The protein stays the same, but the amount of carbs you eat is less. So it fluctuates. So it's like you have like one high carb day, then you have like 2 or 3 low carb days.
Yeah.
A high, like it's called carb cycling.
And you just learn all this as you go, or with your coach and everything?
Yeah, I have a coach, but, it's like I learn too. I want to learn so that when I'm helping somebody out or coaching somebody, whether it's a lifestyle client or if someone wants me to help them in the prep, I know. I know what's going on because I've experienced it. I know it works. But it's not cookie cutter, right? Everyone's different.
Yeah.
What works for me may not work for you.
Yeah.
But that's why it's a learning curve. Like I'll learn you as we go, and we'll make adjustments.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty cool sort of game, And what I love about bodybuilding, it's like it's on you.
Yeah.
Your coach guides you, but it's on you to do the work, to stay focused, to eat everything, to drink all your water.
Yeah.
A gallon and a half of water every single day.
Gallon and a half.
Wow. Every single day, 6 meals. Right now I'm at 6 days a week, only 20 minutes of cardio, right? Which some people have to do 30, 45. Some people have to do more.
Yeah.
But we're doing 6 days, 20 minutes post-workout or fasted. And I'm working out 4 to 5 times a week, depending on how my body feels.
Do you have any recommendations if one of the viewers are watching, like not into fitness, but they're trying to get into it? Let's say they're just trying to lose weight, gain muscle. What would you recommend for them?
I think the biggest problem that we see, right? New Year's resolution. Yeah. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen in a month.
Yep.
It's not going to happen in 2 months. You have to be realistic with the goal. And, it's like give yourself a year.
Yeah.
Really. Like give yourself a year to make a change. And then when you do that, you eliminate like any pressure or expectation of like, 6 weeks, I've only lost 5 pounds. You only lost 5 pounds. What are you eating?
Yeah.
I even plate lunch or this. Like, so number one, give yourself a real timeline and maybe seek out for some help, for some advice. And then when you do that, when you get the the guidance, you got to follow it.
Yeah.
Just follow it, and trust it.
Yeah.
So that'll be my advice to people that are trying to get into some kind of lifestyle change is, be realistic with a timeline, ask for help, get someone to help, and just stay consistent. Consistency over time,
Yep.
and the change will
Do you still do coaching too? Like
yeah,
online
Yeah.
coaching,
So I'm
all that?
available for coaching.
Yeah.
If you guys need help, hit me up. DM me on IG at Chad Owens too.
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy to help you out. So yeah, I mean it's pretty, and it needs to happen. Like Hawaii, we gotta get healthier.
Yeah.
We're one of those states that have
It's the food. That's why.
Yes.
Get good food. It's hard for me too because I tried the diet plan with you one time and I'm trying to do it again. Just the traveling for me. I travel a lot of places, doing comedy at all these different cities, and it's hard. Just what's available to eat. Like we finish a show like around 11:30 midnight. Coming back to the hotel, the only thing open is like In-N-Out Burger.
Hey, and that's all good. Bro, smash that. Just the next morning, bro. It's hey, get up, hit the treadmill or whatever.
Like smash that, okay?
Yeah. Smash that, bro. But it's you're not competing. You know what I mean? So people that they think that it's strict all the time.
Yeah.
My lifestyle clients, I give them once they get a certain point where like they've dropped.
Yeah.
Say, hey, weekly cheat meals.
Yeah. So like, when you're in off season, are you still on your diet or?
Oh yeah.
Your whole life then.
Pretty much, bro. Pretty much. In this season right now of my life,
like
I'm
the past 3 or 4 years was pretty consistent.
For the most part, it's like when you're holidays, it's kind of like it's the holidays.
Got to, yeah.
So a couple weeks, but some people, holidays.
Holidays or when new special at Zippy's.
You got to sample. But with that being said, off season is different because we're trying to bulk up. So it's like I have weekly cheat meals, and there's no restrictions. So I could go smash complete lunch if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But now my cheat meals are restrictions. It's like, all right, Chad, on Monday night, I want you to go have 2 rainbow rolls. Sushi. That's it.
Yeah.
Like it's extra carbs, a little extra, but it's all part of the plan as you start to get closer to prep for peak week and getting yourself ready. But for lifestyle clients or people that are just trying to, change some things, it's all in balance.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, give yourself
all moderation.
Yeah, give yourself, 3 out of the 4 meals, like really good meals, maybe 1 meal that's a little bit more, higher in calories. But, if you're working out every day, it's okay. It'll balance itself out. But you cannot be more, cheat meals throughout the week than your healthy meals.
Yeah.
It's if you're trying to lose weight, then you got to be in a caloric deficit, basically, right?
Yeah.
You got to be intaking less than what your output is. It's basic math. But that's why I have you, all right, you got to weigh your stuff. You got to weigh how much rice, how much chicken, protein, so right? So when we have that after the week or 2 weeks, this is what we've been eating, and we see a result, okay, that works. Or if we're going the opposite direction, okay, we got to make an adjustment. But if you're just going, pop, you just kind of eyeballing them, and, oh, that looks good. Like you're just smashing. You're doing that 2-3 times a day, plus snacking, plus sodas, plus candy. You're not thinking. You just, next thing you know, 3-4 weeks go by, you jump on the scale.
You're 300 pounds.
Oh, go to the doctor. Blood pressure to the roof.
Yeah.
So it's I really want people to start taking their health seriously and making those changes. You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you live longer.
That's it.
Yeah.
Trying to be here as long as we can for our kids, grandkids, great gang, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you want to be able to enjoy life as well, It's all in balance.
Yeah. Do you have as we wrap it up, do you have anything you want to say to the fans watching, or where can they follow you? I know you mentioned it on Instagram.
Yeah, at Chad Owens 2 on Instagram, that's probably the best way that they can, follow me and kind of see
And
what I'm doing.
you got a podcast too, the Shaka Tank.
Yeah, we've been doing this thing called the Shaka Tank podcast. We just started to kind of put that out. It's pretty cool. It's entrepreneurs kind of. It's just like a melting pot of different things, and podcasting is kind of this is a cool thing, to kind of get some stories out, talk to people, but no, really, I want to congratulate you again. And I've already told you that before, but from seeing where you started to where you are now, it just speaks on the consistency we're talking about.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about diet, fitness, work, comedy, whatever it is, like, you have to just be consistent.
Keep doing it, yeah.
Just got to keep doing it. You may not win everything. You may not, every video may not go viral.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You just got to stay consistent with the craft.
And that one thing's going to just...
And that's
just
it.
like in football, every play you got to go hard. You don't know when that play is going to happen.
Boom.
You don't know. Yeah.
Play hard every play.
Every play.
Every play is the game-winning play.
Yeah.
That's the mentality.
Even when you're losing by 45 points.
Hey,
good for the highlight reel.
We can still come back. We're just
come back.
We're 18 plays away.
Yeah, 18 plays away.
Yeah.
We score now, onside kick, score again, go for 2.
I mean, it's far-fetched, but at least your mindset is in the right place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember when I was with Chow, we lost every game, and that was on drought we had. Like,
what was the message? What was the message from Coach Every?
Sometimes you never have any message. But it was interesting
before
to
Monday
see.
started after the game.
It was interesting,
Monday.
with my friends. Okay, what are you gonna say now this time for after the game when we lose? Yeah, because you gotta come up with something every time as a coach. So you only can say a certain amount of things after you lose 10 games in a row. But we're just looking forward to practice at that point.
Yeah, no, man. But no, bro, I appreciate you having me. This is awesome.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Keep doing it, man. Warrior Tour.
Yeah,
right.
Coming up soon.
Yeah,
you got your competition coming up soon too.
Yeah. It's gonna be It's already an awesome 2024.
And your ceremony with the
Hall
CFL,
of Fame.
Hall of Fame. That's huge.
I know we didn't get to talk about that a lot, but it's something. If I can just close on this, the Hall of Fame wasn't something that I thought about when I played at all. You don't think about it.
Yeah.
All you think about is, again, the consistency, being the best player that I can every single day, every single week.
Yep.
And every year, it's like, okay, I did that last year. What can I do in this offseason to outdo that?
Yeah.
And then when your career's over, that's kind of when you start to think, wow, like, that'd be pretty cool,
Yeah.
Then you start to think, man, did I do enough? And so getting that call was confirmation that, man, you did enough.
Yeah,
you
that's
did more than
huge.
enough.
I think you're the first ever in Hawaii.
No, I think there was a couple others
In
played
Hawaii?
from the University of Hawaii, but not they weren't born in Hawaii.
Oh, some UH guys were Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I think what's his name? The other he was a returner. Oh my God, drawing a what
Was it before you or after you?
No, way before me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can look it up. But
Yeah.
I'm not the first University of Hawaii.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was sort of
First,
icing on the
first
cake.
Hawaiian though,
Yeah.
and English.
yes. But no, it was a beautiful day, beautiful call.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to
Yeah,
get up
enjoy
there
that
and do
moment.
it.
That's coming up in September. You said September. Yeah, enjoy that moment.
Get the
with your
jacket,
family,
get
yeah.
the ring, and get the head bust.
Yeah. Should
They
make.
better
I'll be looking.
they better make them good.
I'll be looking on Instagram for the highlight reel for that day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But thanks for being here, Chad. And we'll have you on next time again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mahalo.
All right.